AITAH, for breaking up with my fiancé because she could no longer satisfy me. For context, I am a very sexual person, and it's a very important part of a relationship for me. I desperately want to have someone attracted to me in that way and an active sex life. My girlfriend and I were engaged and supposed to get married in the upcoming years. We had just begun wedding preparations and were very happy. About a week ago, my girlfriend sat me down and told me she was no longer interested in sex. She said she didn't want to put a label on it, but she made it clear she did not want sex ever again. This was obviously huge news to me, as we've had sex before, and while we hadn't in a month, I had been led to believe that our sex life was still good. She had texted me just a week prior about how she wanted to do it, and I straight up asked her about it about 2 weeks ago and was met with a positive reaction, so this was a big shock. At first, I was willing to compromise and make this relationship work, as I really love her and was picturing spending a lot more time with her, but then she began to explain herself further. She said that to her, sex was like the other activities we do together and didn't do anything more for her than something like baking together did. Okay, so she's not sex repulsed, she just doesn't get anything extra. That's okay, right? Well, no, for some reason she has decided it's too much work for her to get nothing out of it, so she's cutting it off completely. I was a bit disappointed by this, but I don't want to invalidate her identity and make her uncomfortable, so I nodded along. Then she proceeded to tell me about how she still wanted to make out and go as far as taking shirts off, just no further. I think this is a reasonable boundary to set, and I was willing to adhere, but she doesn't do anything for me. When we make out, I take time to romance her prior, and I spend lots of time working her neck, and I listen to her feedback. She does absolutely nothing for me. No neck kisses unless I ask, and even then it only lasts a few seconds at best. Zero attention to me and my needs. I'm always on top, and she basically just lays there and waits for me to take control. I'd only not spoken up before because when we would have sex, she would spend time on me and my needs. At first, I figured maybe she would feel more comfortable now knowing that I knew her boundaries, but nope, same as always. I decided that this was just going to leave me as unfulfilled and resentful, so I broke it off. I was upset, but she was angry. She said it was so stupid to break up with her over something so trivial, and I'm just sex addicted and was seeing her for nothing else. Now both my family and hers are harassing me about how I finally showed my true colors. I truly didn't think I was in the wrong, but am I throwing away an important relationship for the wrong reasons? TLDR. I broke up with my fiancé when she cut off sex permanently, and now both her family and mine are telling me I'm making a mistake. AITAH? Edit. Okay, so I see a lot of comments about cheating and our sex life before. I would also like to bring up that we are both women, and I have gotten her off a lot. I'm actually the one out of the two of us that has struggled to get off due to some medications I have to take, but as far as I know, that has never made her unhappy. Whenever we would have sex, I would make sure she was satisfied unless she specifically told me she did not want to be that day. That was not very often. Usually when she was just exhausted but still in the mood. I'm also fairly confident that she was not cheating, as she doesn't really seem like the kind of person to do that, and there has been no evidence for it. I highly doubt she's going to find a new man and fuck him, as some of the comments have been suggesting. I really think she just didn't get anything extra out of sex. I almost feel like maybe I shouldn't have broken it off so fast and maybe tried to find therapy for us and make it work, but I'm not sure if that would have done anything. I've always been rather attentive in the bedroom, as making my partner feel good is what makes me feel good, but at the same time, I don't know what she's thinking. Thanks so much for all the responses so far. I'll be sure to tell my family my version of what happened and go LC for now at least. Credits. Narrated by narrator's name.